If you have anxiety or stress or headaches that recur every few days at least, then do you think you could be drinking more water than you're drinking right now? And if so, do you think you would feel better because of it? Well, I'd argue the answer is yes in almost every case. And I argue that on the basis of thousands of people that we've worked with, and many of whom have issues with stress, anxiety, and different types of headaches, especially tension headaches. And so water, I don't need to be Dr. Obvious here, but I will, is the foundation of life. It helps everything, your circulation, your inflammation, your nervous system's ability to produce energy. And so case in point here, I just started working with a woman who's having headaches and anxiety and stress, and she just doesn't drink enough water. And it was, before we go make any advanced, comprehensive plans here, just getting the basics right is where people find 80% of the benefit. And so for her, like maybe for you or someone she knows she should be drinking water, but just isn't doing it. So here's some of the ways that we help people to overcome this little challenge of not getting enough water in. For this woman, we'll start out here, like maybe for you, she just doesn't think about it. It's just not top of mind. And with everything going on in life, right? She's a mom. She's got multiple properties that she's managing. She's got the kids. She's got her self-care, and she's just not feeling good. And so it's hard to prioritize hydrating well and thinking about water often. So what helps a lot of people is using reminders, planting reminders around your environment, putting sticky notes on the fridge or in your bathroom or your desk, wherever you spend time frequently. You can also use an app on your phone. There are many apps, right? If you just type hydration or water into the app store, you'll find many different apps that give you reminders that pop up on your phone to drink every hour, every 2 hours, whatever it is. Okay, so just leveraging your environment, creating little hacks, creating good habits that help you to remind yourself, okay, I need to drink now. Okay, so that's number one. The second challenge that people tend to run into is that they just don't have water around. They don't have it on them. Maybe you're at your desk at work, you don't work at home, or whatever the situation is, just making sure you have water available. And so you don't need to, constantly be thinking about it. And I think some people overdo it and they bring their thermos with them or their container wherever they go. You don't need to be that crazy about it everywhere you go, but just think ahead, right? Just think, okay, wherever I'm gonna be here for a few hours. I'm going to the grocery store. It's a 30-minute drive. If you live far away from a grocery store, that is, spend an hour there, maybe more. Let me just overestimate, say an hour and a half, because you never know what's going to happen, and then 30 minutes back. And I'm going to be out of the house for more than 2 hours. Let me bring some water with me. If you're just running a quick errand to the bank and back or something, don't worry about it. But just being more proactive about your health, about water drinking, remembering that it's going to help you feel better, right? That's a motivating factor that will help this reminder surface a little bit more, is just knowing how good you'll feel. And once you feel it, it's hard to go back. Okay, the last thing is using taste, leveraging taste of the water to want to drink more. So if it tastes good, you'll want to drink it more just naturally. You don't have to make yourself or remind yourself. And so a few things to do would be change the texture, change the temperature, change the flavor. So by texture, I'm talking about adding bubbles. So you can try having like a homemade seltzer machine. That's what we do. Homemade seltzer, or just buying cans of seltzer. Much better to make it on your own at home, in a glass bottle, than using the cans. And there's just natural flavors in there, and it's just better to make it yourself and use glass in general for your health. Less toxic, but that's the first way, right? So that's texture. Next is flavor. Flavor is it can add some salt, which also changes the texture. A little pinch of sea salt. It adds electrolytes into it naturally, and gives it a little bit of a different flavor to it. You can also use different packets. I like the Truly brand on Amazon. We don't have any affiliation with them. I just love the product. It's basically just little packets of lemon or lime or orange, and you just open it up, throw it in, it dissolves, easy. And it's very clean. There's no other ingredient in it other than crystallized lemon or crystallized orange, etc. Okay, so that's texture, that's flavor, then there's the temperature is the last one. So using ice, okay, putting ice in it, making it more cold. Sometimes the way it just hits your tongue just feels different and can make you want to drink more. Interestingly, on the other end of the spectrum, you can also drink water super hot. I actually spent a few months living in China and working at a pharmaceutical company, actually in their international sales department. And is very interesting because not only did they do pharmaceuticals, but in China, they also sold nutraceuticals, natural herbs, and processed them all in the same plant as the pharmaceuticals. So it's all together there. Anyway, just interesting fact, but they would drink, the employees around me would all drink hot water, hot water. They'd go to the dispenser, even in the summer. This was midsummer when it was like, high 90s, super humid, just oppressive, even more so than it is here in South Florida. But they'd still go all and drink hot water. And so I'm not saying you need to do that in the middle of summer, but experimenting with the flavor, you might enjoy drinking that water, or using tea, putting some herbal tea and making it a hot drink that way. And so there's different ways to experiment to make you enjoy it and want to drink it more so that you can get it in more regularly, whether it's you're reminding yourself using reminders and cues around your environment, or you're leveraging the power of taste and getting yourself to enjoy it more so you want to drink it more. So you'll feel more energetic, less headaches, less stress, right? Your nervous system has the nutrients it needs, the number one nutrient, which is water. It has what it needs to just relax and feel good, because you'd be surprised how many people feel better once they just get enough water in and stop dehydrating yourself. All right, so that's it. Subscribe and like for more. We're coming up with easy tips like this to help you leverage your health and pull the levers on easy things you can do to improve your health and the way you feel so you can just feel good again. All right, we'll see you in the next one.